Want to encourage your parrot to play with toys? Check out this video for some great tips and ideas. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Parrot Teacher. I am David and today we are talking about how to encourage your parrot to play with new toys and interact with different toys. It's a common problem for a lot of people. A lot of parrot toys are marketed for us humans. We see a parrot toy, it's labelled as a parrot toy, we expect our parrot to just know how to play with it and want to play with it instantly. But it's not that simple oftentimes. You have to encourage your parrot, you have to introduce them, you have to train them how to interact with these items, and you have to make it really easy. So the purpose of this video is kind of like an extension of my core skills series. I may even label it Core Skills 8 because it is such an essential skill. But we're going to talk about how to encourage your parrot through 5 simple methods and tips. Now, I'd like to give a big shout out and thank you to Northern Parrots for giving me some of the items I am featuring in this video. It was very kind of them to send me these things I requested, just so I could illustrate with nice, fresh, clean things, rather than the stuff our birds have already destroyed and chewed up and had lots of fun with. So thank you, Northern Parrots, it's much appreciated. Remember, if you're in the UK, Northern Parrots are our favourite parrot supply store. Sign up to their newsletter and you can get 10% off as well. Now, when you're encouraging your parrot to interact with a new toy or object, you want to take your time with it. You don't want to just pop it straight in their cage and expect them to get on with it. Because if something random just appeared in my room, like a giant proportionally sized, if this is proportionally sized to us humans, it would be massive, these toys. Just this giant toy appeared there, maybe I'd like it, but I'd probably be a little bit scared, like, what is that doing there? So you want to introduce these toys at a distance. Sometimes for very nervous birds, especially if they're small parrots with very big toys, you want to just have them outside the cage for a while, just sitting there so they can get used to them. With others, you can just have it in your hand and you can control the distance and reward them for it. But just introducing toys, like for example this Planet Pleasures tire with star, or let's read the label on this one, this Back to the Zoo Nature Solar Star Tree, which are pretty great toys, pretty appealing. You may have to do it at a distance, and also don't forget to reinforce your parrot for interacting with them. If they approach it, if they get closer to it, give them a high value treat, make it worthwhile so they think, oh okay, this may be a little bit scary initially, but the closer I get to it, the more high value stuff I get from it. My human's not thrusting it at me, my human's letting me approach it. This is cool, it's safe, and I'm happy getting closer to it. Now my next tip, and hopefully you follow tip 1 to get to this point, is actually reinforcing for any interactions. Like this Back to Zoo Nature toy, this has got lovely, easily destructible bits on it. So you want your parrot to learn that it's easily destructible and it's fun to destroy and chew. So to do this, you literally just get them to interact with it, and the moment they sort of touch it and bite on it a little bit, you give them a high value treat for it afterwards. And again, this is building positive associations with these toys, that they're good, they're lots of fun, and they are going to get good things for interacting with them. And once they start doing it, they start thinking, wow, this is actually destructible, I can destroy this, it's fun, and I enjoy it. And rolled into the same tip is hide treats in the toy as well. Planet Pleasures toys are awesome for this kind of thing, like this bird tire one. They've got this like little pouches and things. If you just pull it apart, you can hide treats in there. And once interacting with it, once they're getting higher value from it, they're going to keep interacting with it and keep destroying it, because not only do they think their treats are in there, but they're so used to doing it, it becomes enjoyable and reinforcing in and of itself, basically. And you can see it at the clip of Pickles right now on the screen, where I've just laid it on the table and she's just crawling all over it just to look for treats. Didn't always start that way, we had to go through these steps, but once we introduced it and did it, she just loves doing it and loves going in there. Scampy's the same, though he's a little bit more hesitant. And you can do this as well with the foraging with something as simple as like these Zoomax Vine Stars. Very simple toy. You can just hide treats within there and let your birds go over them and destroy them. It's just a great, sorry, there's a magpie on our roof and his tail's waggling, distracting me. But these are another great way of introducing things because they're a bit smaller and you can hide bits in them quite easily. Now, if you watch my channel, you're probably aware that I am a big fan of target training, and if you haven't seen the core skill video on target training, I'll leave a card for it now. It is highly important and very useful for you and your parrot to know. But you can use your target training to get your birds to interact with new things. If they're a little bit hesitant, a little bit nervous, but they're properly target trained, you can just lure them over with your target stick to the comfortable distance and gradually get them closer and closer until they're actually interacting with the toy. Targeting is such a useful tool in this way, and it becomes an intermediary, especially if your parrot's new to you and a little bit more hesitant of your interactions as well. Now, you can use a simple chopstick. We love these Superbird Creations party sticks. They are basically just dyed paper party straw stick things, and they're very useful. They're great for small parrot training. If you've got a larger bird, you might want to use a chopstick, which gives you a bit more distance, but we love these products, and bright colours can sometimes be more appealing to our parrots. So do use your targeting to introduce toys, because it's a highly useful and often very successful technique. Now, one of the easiest ways to get your parrot to interact with new toys, especially if they're not used to interacting with toys or are very nervous with larger ones, is just using toy parts. You just break up the toy into parts or buy a selection of small toy parts and you introduce your parrot to that. They also make great things in foraging trays. For example, here I've got the Vine Star back again, and we also have these Zumax solar stars, and we love these. The birds were straight on these. Just small bits to get them used to things, less scary, less intimidating, and they can get used to the small individual parts before you introduce the toys as a whole. And again, you can use these in foraging toys and stuff if you can't put them back together, and it's just a great thing for your bird to enjoy and interact with. Now, my final tip is use easily destructible toys, again, especially if you've got smaller beaks. Now, these solar stars are awesome for this. They're incredibly soft and very good for small beaks, although larger ones may appreciate it too. And you can just see, I'm just going to break one apart here. Look how easy that breaks apart. It's almost like a wafer. And it's a lot of fun for your parrots to destroy it, and very easy, so it introduces them to the concept of destruction. So they can, well, most parrots don't need an introduction to the concept of destruction, but you know what I mean. It's a great way of getting them to interact with toys when they're easily destructible. And when I'm talking about easily destructible, I'm talking about stuff like solar, balsa, cardboard, paper, palm leaf like the Planet Pleasures toy. There's loads of different easily destructible toys, and there are loads on the market which are not easily destructible, and then people buy those and then wonder why the parrot doesn't do anything with it, because it's too hard. Now, there's nothing wrong with the occasional hardwood toy. Some parrots will get a lot of pleasure out of it, but if you're teaching your parrot to interact with toys, softer materials are generally much better. So I hope you found this video useful. I'm just going to hold up my lovely Planet Pleasures toy again. Thank you, Northern Parrots. This is always a big hit in our flock. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you down below. If there's any techniques you have that you found successful, also love to hear from you. But in the meantime, take care and see you later.